Good afternoon. This is Mark from Newsweek.com, and I'd like to talk to you about the Bed Bath & Beyond fiasco, where the CFO, uh, I think his name is Gustavo Ornal, apparently jumped out of the 18th floor and killed himself. First, I'd like to tell you that I know many people that have killed themselves, for sure. I have got some close friends, very close friends, that fathers have uh, killed themselves, and it's very sad. It forever punishes the family year after year. Just the thought of it. I'm always trying to be caring for my friends and try to be sensitive. But I like to mention this. Suicide does not happen because a person is under some kind of financial stress. This is a mental illness that is with you forever, and then all of a sudden something makes you snap, and off you go. That's an important point I want to bring up. I mean, some of the strongest men who have had mysterious suicides, for instance, Gustavo Ornal and an old boss of mine, both from public companies, uh, I think you have to really question. Number one, it's New York City. Big money at play, millions, billions of dollars, and people get absolutely crazy, particularly in circumstances. For one, my own boss from the building trades, and second, in this particular case, where you had a meme stock, which was clearly manipulated, which was clearly a shell game. Uh, you could get some really bad people involved, and they can do some really mean things to people. So this video is more about asking you to really question all the facts behind the Bed Bath & Beyond. But at the same time, I'd like to reference uh, my old boss who gave me a job. I feel very thankful that he gave me a job. Uh, and he was a mentor along with the people that were involved in the corporation. And I'll briefly mention the Strober organization. Rick Strober supposedly went out a 22-story window while visiting his attorney after he went to the bathroom. Uh, and Very, very suspicious circumstances. To this day, people speculate he was killed by organized crime, uh, and other people speculate that he jumped. Myself knowing Rick Strober, uh, he was very confident, very together, never saw a stress on him. I can't imagine that he actually jumped out a window, but at the same time, he did take control of his life. So, and he was on a mission, but not unstable at all. Maybe he had some mental illness. I guess the question will never answer. But let me bring up some circumstances that make it very suspicious. Uh, Number one, Rick Strober going to his lawyer's office and then leaving to go to the bathroom and then literally taking the entire window frame with him on the way down 22 stories into a courtyard makes it very suspicious. I mean, if you're going to go and jump when you jump out of an open window, why would you go to the trouble of breaking the window and then jumping through and then taking the window frame with you? This doesn't make sense. Secondly, and again, I'll put the link to the information on the Strober organization uh, in the description down below so that you can read through it and kind of get an idea. Obviously you all know I'm a roofer, or at least some people know that I'm a roofer. And, now I trade stocks as well as dabble in roofing still. But the similarities between, the stock crisis is pretty deep, and the fact that it's from New York. Now, also, I want to bring up a point that I want people to remember about the Goldman Sachs Hispanic person that was on the train that suddenly, supposedly randomly was shot a few months back, who in fact actually was a Goldman Sachs partner that was murdered on the train. So what we have here is we have a Venezuelan CFO from Bed Bath & Beyond, and we have a Mexican partner from Goldman Sachs that was murdered on a train. So let's think about things in let's at least imagine, the worst, because I think that you always have to question. As I say, it's never as it seems. So I'll send you the link with the Strober organization, but let me go back to that a little bit now. So after Rick Strober was supposedly jumped out the window or thrown out the window, uh, his cousin Shecky started asking a lot of questions. Mysteriously, Shecky stepped out of his car in Brooklyn and was conveniently run over, uh, or sadly run over out of coincidence. I worked with Shecky personally. I worked with Rick personally. It's still a very mysterious circumstance. I don't think enough research has been done uh, about it, and I do know that other people in the building trains have been mysteriously died through the passage of windows as well. So now you've got some research to do on the Strober organization so that you can kind of get a comparison about what happens when a CEO or CFO goes out a window or goes off a balcony in New York City, and try to kind of figure out, what is going on here in this business world where people put money before life. It's absolutely insane. Now let's talk about the CFO from Bed Bath & Beyond. Apparently he was Venezuelan, very good looking guy. Uh, Apparently he had a couple of daughters. God, who would ever want to leave their daughters? And he had, of course, a beautiful wife. Uh, I can't imagine that trouble in a public company where you're so isolated from actually the risk of losing too much would actually make you jump off a balcony. So I question how it happened. I don't know if his wife was standing right there uh, and saw it. I don't know if maybe he was threatened or whatever, but it just seems very suspicious. The whole Bed Bath and Beyond, I never owned the stock. I wouldn't own the stock. This whole concept about we're going to squeeze the shorts is just uh, over, let's say, hyphenated in the stock market business. Uh, Everybody thinks that you can squeeze a stock that's dropping. I certainly have made some money in the stock market. Uh, Identifying and defining the short squeeze is not that easy, and I never really invest in any company that I think is in that situation. I try to buy companies that I think have value. I don't give financial advice. I just ask a lot of questions and try to think through, what's happening in the market. So please do send me back your opinions on what you think really happened. But to me, this is a very suspicious situation, considering the turmoil in the company and the fact that he was so distant from the risk. It's a public company. You're an employee. You may have stock in the company. Okay, so the rumors are, oh, maybe he was part of manipulation, or maybe others were part of a manipulation and didn't like the fact that he was pushing the company in a certain direction. For instance, last week announcing that they're going to lay people off and close stores. If you had a position where you were long, maybe you're going to be mad at this guy. To me, I hope the New York City police is far different than in 1987 when Rick went out the window. I hope that maybe the federal investigators will get involved. I hope that somebody can figure out exactly what happened. I'd love to see a public statement from the wife. Who else was home? What about the doorman? Who went in and out? Was there somebody in the apartment prior to him getting home? What is going on here? I'd like to know. But Bed Bath and Beyond, it smells like a stinky bathroom to me. Anyway, this is Mark from Newsweed.com. It's never as it seems. Ever. Have a great day.